Every day you train your biceps, your strength goes up, but your arm size just stays the same. Sounds familiar, right? In this video, I'm going to tell you why, according to scientific research, your arms aren't growing, what mistake you're making, and exactly which exercise choices solve this problem. Stick around till the end, because the answer isn't what most people expect. Here's the first mistake. People think that big compound movements like the bench press are enough to fully stimulate the arms. That's partially true, but not the whole story. Research shows that during compound exercises, the triceps and biceps work as secondary muscles. They don't carry the main load, they just assist. As a result, the effective training volume these muscles actually receive isn't enough. Studies show that for muscle growth, you generally need around 10 to 20 sets of direct weekly stimulus. If all you're doing is bench presses and rows, your triceps might only be getting 4 to 6 sets of real effective work, and that's simply not enough to grow. So the takeaway is this: without direct isolation work, your arms won't grow. The second big problem is angle selection. The long head of the bicep stretches the most when the shoulder is extended behind the body. That's why, instead of a simple standing curl, something like an inclined dumbbell curl is scientifically more effective because the muscle works through a fully lengthened position. Recent research, particularly around the lengthened partial training principle, shows that when a muscle works in a stretched position, the hypertrophy response is significantly stronger. The same logic applies to the triceps. The long head of the triceps only fully activates when the arm is raised overhead. That's why overhead triceps extensions are far more effective for the long head than a classic pushdown, because during a pushdown, the shoulder angle keeps the long head in a shortened position, so it barely contributes at all. In short, whichever head you're targeting, you need to match the angle to it. Otherwise, part of the muscle never really gets activated. The third mistake is the lack of progressive overload and frequency. Same weight, same number of sets, same program for months on end. Muscle growth comes from a combination of mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage, but the main driver behind all of it is progressive overload. If the weight, the reps, or the number of sets aren't increasing over time, the body has no real reason to build new muscle tissue. On top of that, research shows that smaller muscle groups, like the arms, recover faster and actually grow better when stimulated twice a week compared to just once. If you're only training arms once a week on a dedicated arm day, you're essentially leaving half your potential on the table. So here's the practical formula, coach to coach. First, add direct volume, a minimum of 10 to 14 sets per week for biceps and triceps combined, on top of your compound lifts. Second, choose exercises that work the muscle in a lengthened position. Incline curls, overhead extensions. Third, increase frequency. Stimulate your arms twice a week instead of once. Fourth, track your progress. Try to increase weight, reps, or sets every week. Work with numbers, not just how things look in the mirror. Apply these 4 principles and your muscles will get every signal they scientifically need to grow. So the reason your arms aren't growing isn't laziness. Your program is missing one of 3 things: not enough direct volume, the wrong training angle, or no progressive overload. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and in the next video, I'll give you a complete arm program. Sets, reps, and exercise order included. See you next time.